let's dive into it. Let's discuss what is the Digital Accelerator Program and where did it come from? And then we're going to take a look at the team here. So the Digital Accelerator has been really truly running for just over a year now, or thereabouts a year. And it came from something that, Tracy and I have both been with Schmidt family of companies for over 5 years now, which seems crazy because it seems like not any time at all and so much time at the same time. But one of the things that we've heard from at the beginning in some way, shape, or form is, I wish I had somebody to do my social media for me. And the why could be any number of reasons. It could be I know how to do it, but I just don't have time. My business is at a point where it's better spent for me talking to clients and, going out on listing presentations and showings. It could be I don't know how to do these things, right? Like I know that they're important, but I don't know how. And all the training in the world can be super helpful, but ultimately if it comes down to just I don't have time, that's going to be something hard to overcome, or just, again, don't have interest in it. I know it's important, don't have interest, but what we had heard time and time again was, I wish I had someone to do this for me. So there are tons of third-party companies out there that do social media management, and some that even specialize in real estate social media management. And, I get a lot of emails from you guys that say, hey, JD, I got this email. Do you know anything about this vendor? Or, hey, does this sound like kind of asking me about these programs. Is this legit? Is this worth it? And stuff like that. And, to the credit, there are some out there that are really positive, really good programs. And then there are some, and in my experience, this seems to be the majority of them, that are essentially they're trying to hook you. There's no real business value. They're trying to get you on a recurring subscription so that every month they charge your card and you hope that, they hope that you think it's working and stuff like that. And so, and it feels a little fishy, feels a little scammy to me. So my priority and Tracy's priority when developing this was there has to be real business value. Whatever we do, I don't want to add things to this program to make it look like things are going smoothly. I want to add things to the program that actually do add value to your business, that help increase your sales and your listings and your stay in touch with your sphere. So that's where it came from. It was it was something that we had been hearing about for a while, this need, but we wanted to make sure that what we developed was incredibly effective in what it does. So that's so over the course of a year or so, we built the program. It's been out for about a year or so. And I think one of the first things I want to show you guys is I want you to meet the team. So I kind of help lead the charge with this team, but I am not the person you're going to be working with day in and day out within Digital Accelerator. That is our lovely digital marketing team. So actually, instead of sharing my screen on the Schmidt Resources page, I'd love for the four of you, and I'm pretty sure you're all here, if you wouldn't mind turning your cameras on. And you should know by now that I'm going to ask you to do this, so it shouldn't be too much of a surprise. So you can see Haley up there. Haley, if you can give a wave. If you guys are on the grid view, or if you're on the speaker view, you can see them across the top. There we go. So we got Haley Kuhn, Brittany Anderson, Nicole Coughlin, and I know that Michelle Carending is on here too, but I know that she's actually one of our Ohio marketers. She's sitting in our Holland office today. And I think she's got a bit of a rigged thing going on, so I don't know if she'll be able to get her camera on. But these four, Shelly, Brittany, Haley, and Nicole, are the digital marketing experts that work with our agents day in and day out. And I can only say so many times, I say this every time just because it's sometimes a little bit fun to embarrass them, but they are far and away the best part of this program. The feedback that I get from our agents and from anybody who interacts with them is that they are the kindest people to work with. They are responsive. They are very, very skilled at what they do. And they're not just full-time digital marketers. They are also fully skilled graphic designers. So if you're a DAP client and you're working with them in Digital Accelerator stuff, but hey, I want a holiday postcard too, or I've got some flyer I need, they're here for that too. They can help with all of your marketing needs, and you'll see in a little bit some of the really cool custom things that they build. So, Tracy and I, of course, help the team, and we have our weekly, frankly, more than weekly meetings. We discuss, the goals of DAP and what we want to do to change things. But it's these four people who are working with you guys day in and day out, and it's my pleasure to work with them, and it's also, if you ever join the program, your pleasure to work with them. So Brittany, Haley, Nicole, and Shelly are just fantastic. So thank you guys for turning your cameras on. I'll stop embarrassing you for now until we get to testimonials. So this is the team. These are the people that you will get to work with if you are part of Digital Accelerator. And we're going to go into what the program is in a second here, but I already want to talk about one of the differentiators that you get with digital. There's Shelly. Hey, Shelly. With Digital Accelerator versus a third-party program is that you just saw one of the 4 people that you're going to work with. They are the person. You have monthly calls with them. You can call them. You can email them. When you have a third-party program, depending on the program, sometimes it's literally a checkbox that you fill out, and they auto-post things, and there's a support chat that you can talk to and go through, but you don't know who you're talking to, or when you do, it's somebody different every time. When you enter Digital Accelerator and you have an onboarding call with Tracy, which we'll talk about in a bit, and we say, okay, you're going to work with Shelly or you're going to work with Haley, they're your person. You know who to call if you have an issue. You know who is the person running your ads and running your posts. That in and of itself, that relationship already sets this apart because you have a face and a name to go to. So I think that's one of the really powerful parts of the program. But so that is the where it came from. That is the why we started it. And then that is, of course, the team. That's the 4 people who you get to work with. Now I want us to talk about the packages. So I want to go over, kind of the line items of what Digital Accelerator includes. Now, because we all know that Schmidt Resources is the hub of all things Schmidt, if you go to Schmidt... Hold on real quick. Let me do a mute. There we go. If you go to Schmidt Resources, you click, of course, on any of our regions. We'll click on Florida because it's snowy and it's not very warm here in Michigan. Right here across the top, you are going to see a square for Digital Accelerator packages. So if you click on that page right there, it's going to bring you to the DAP program, where you'll be able to see everything we're going to go over right now. So I want to go over the packages, and then we're going to talk about, like I said, the keys to success, what makes a DAP client, one of you, an agent, successful in this program. So this is also, one of the things that Schmidt Family of Company prides ourselves in is that Mike and Ken have made our marketing group complementary to you as agents. The only thing that you ever pay for are the print materials, the actual physical deliverables. And even those prices are incredibly competitive, and especially since we've really bulked up our print shop. So when we were discussing Digital Accelerator, this was going to be our first really paid offering from the company. So we wanted to make sure, again, that it was competitive, it was effective, and that you were getting real value. And it was really funny to me because earlier this year, after we had done our first couple informational sessions, and I should have kept it, I got one of the emails from a third party saying, "Hey JD, we see that you're an agent. That do you want our digital marketing services?" And I clicked on it, and I was looking at the packages that they offered, and their lowest tier was $1,500 a month, and the contents of that package was about half of what we offer in any of our packages. So it was funny to me to be able to give a training on this or give an informational, and then see in the wild how competitive, or not even competitive, how much comped our pricing is, again, thanks to Mike and Ken and the leadership team here, and the value that we get to provide to you at a much lower cost than you'll find, like I said, out in the wild. So we're going to go through these packages. For the main packages, the Presence, Plus, and Premium that we're going to go through are the subscriptions. They are the monthly fees that you'll pay once a month for everything. There's one package, and we're going to talk about that right now, which is the Getting Started package. That is a one-time fee. And as you can see here, that is setting up your business page, setting up a Google business listing, setting up your Moxie website if it's not set up, and then getting your listings to leads configured and set up. And this is those are all assets that we leverage within our Digital Accelerator program. And if you don't have those, then the program literally can't work, because that's what we use to do it. So if it's something that you go, I want to get those set up, I want to get them kind of taken care of, and then I want to enter, awesome, great, perfect. But if you're like, I don't have a business page, or I don't have a website, and I want that taken care of too, you can purchase the Getting Started package with one of the monthly subscriptions, with one of the monthly services, and the team will take care of that stuff for you. They'll set up your business page. They'll make sure it's all compliant. They'll add photos. They'll make the Google listing, etc. So like I said, that is something you have to get with one of the packages. You can't just get the getting started as a one-off, and that is that is a one-time fee. That's not something that's going to be a recurring fee. You pay that once for the setup, and then you move forward. So now let's take a look at the 3 different package levels. Now, you're going to see the monthly cost of each of these levels, and I want to make something clear up front, and I'll hopefully try to remember to circle back to this. You will not pay more per month than that price that you are seeing. If you join the social presence level for $250 a month, that is it. There's no additional fees. There's no hidden costs. There's no, oh, you want to do another post this week? Well, it's going to be 10. There's none of that. The price you see is exactly what you will be charged each month. That's it. So one of the things I'll talk about after we go through these packages is that we're also always listening to our clients, wonder and kind of taking note of what they wish was in the program, or I wish this was part of it, or I wish I could do that. Like this would be a cool feature, and changing and adding to the program based off of that. And one of the things that we heard from that, you can see right here, is that our presence level, which is sort of like the base level, there are 2 different versions of that. And that was because of feedback we heard from you, from the agent. So I'm going to walk through these. And again, if you guys have questions along the way, please feel free to write them in. But the first levels are social presence and web presence. So that, they're titled the way they are for a reason. The social presence is social media based. The web presence is website based. Now, when you move up to Plus and Premium, those packages are basically both of those combined plus more. So the Plus level is going to have website stuff and social media stuff, but originally we just had the social presence level, which, as you can see, is posting to the social media that you leverage, namely Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn for now. 4 to 5 weekly posts on your business page of custom graphics, of listings, of testimonials, stuff like that. Your Google business listing maintenance and updates, custom landing pages for property marketing and lead gen, up to 15 lead opportunities monthly each month. We'll talk about that in a second here. And then up to 2 targeted social media ad campaigns from your business page that will go across the Facebook, I guess the Meta suite of products. So like we said here, all ad spends included. Now, what's interesting is that we've actually had a few people ask us to dial back on the leads. They said, I don't actually want to focus on leads this month, or I want to be able, can we do a little bit less for the next couple of months? Absolutely. That is absolutely something we can do. We always like to get that in writing so we can refer back to that just in an email, like, hey, yep, just to make sure you're cool with focusing on branding this month. Absolutely. But those leads can very much be maintained if you want them to be pulled back, because there's too many leads coming in, which we have had that be a really cool problem, too many leads. And then, of course, you'll see this at the bottom, which we'll talk about when we get to the relationship part of this, is that a commitment of 1 Zoom session per month with your specialist and 6-month participation in the program. Both of those things are incredibly vital to the success of this that we'll refer back to in a little bit here. So that was originally what we had, was the social presence, which obviously we still offer. But we had some people say, it's not the social media part that I need the most right now. It's the website stuff. I need my Moxie site managed and maintained and built out and stuff like that. And so that's why we also introduced the web presence level. Now, web presence is the website side of thing. Web presence is the one package here that does not include a lead gen component, because that is not the goal of that package. So the web presence is full Moxie website management. We'll make sure it's secure. If you have a custom domain, we'll make sure to help route that for you. It'll build you a custom homepage, custom searches and community pages, review and brand reputation management, making sure your testimonials show up, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too. And then a consistent Google ad campaign for direct website traffic, meaning we will set up a Google ad campaign, a sponsored ad campaign within Google that directs people to your website with your face, your name, your contact info, your listings, all right there. And you can see that right here. The Google ad campaigns are geared toward brand growth and recognition. And then, of course, the Zoom session, once a month, a meeting with your client. Now, I do want to make something clear here that there's been confusion before. that one Zoom session a month is vital to the program, but it is not, we are not saying that that is the only time you will or get to communicate with your specialist, with your digital marketer. You can reach out to them at any point any point, period. You can call them, you can email them. If you've got a question, if you've got something you want them to post, they can do that at any point. But this Zoom session is really important because this is our kind of like monthly huddle with you, right? Let's go over what we've discussed so far, or what we did last month. Let's go over what we're going to do for the next month. And it's and we'll talk about this more, so important to have that call. So those are the presence levels, right? We have social presence and web presence. And then we move on to plus. So that, like I said a second ago, the plus level is really kind of like a combination of both of those. So we combine the web and the social, and then we just up it a little bit more. So posting to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, of course, the weekly post on your business page, the Google business listing maintenance and updates, full company, again, full Moxie website search, full Moxie website SEO management, search engine optimization. Again, when we're building your website, we're not just throwing things at the wall and hoping it sticks. We're building it SEO friendly. The Google ad campaigns are here. Again, you'll have an ad campaign for brand growth and recognition. You'll also get a monthly ready to send Moxie newsletter that will be part of your program each month. And I've got an example here that we'll look at when we get to this point. A newsletter that the team will get ready for you to send, look over, and as long as you have groups set up in Moxie, they will also send it out to your clients for you. The review and brand reputation management, up to 3 custom landing pages for additional property marketing and lead gen, and then 30 lead opportunities monthly. And so you'll see the last point, 3 targeted social media campaigns, not including Google. So the Google ads always going to run. We'll also do the social media ad campaigns for lead gen, for brand recognition, for property marketing. One thing that I like to say here is that, you'll see that we have, in the presence, it says 2 targeted campaigns, and then 3 here, and then up to 5 in the premium level. We can do more or less campaigns each month, but it is a best practice in general with social media advertising that you want to do bigger campaigns as opposed to more campaigns. So for easy math, if you had $100, it's going to be more effective to do 2 campaigns for $50 each than 10 campaigns for $10 each. So that's why we have these 2, 3, and 5 ad campaigns, is because we want to make sure the ads are effective and powerful. We don't want, hey, I've got 15 different ads I want to run this month. Well, those aren't going to be effective ads. So your marketer will always have those conversations with you, but that's why we have those written like that, is because we want to make sure the ads are effective. So again, the all ad spends included, leads can be reduced at your request, and then a commitment of a Zoom session each month and 6-month participation in the program. Last and certainly not least, the big kahuna, the premium level. So a lot of what we have in the premium level is everything from the plus just amped up even more. So as you can see, more ad campaigns have more behind them, more lead opportunities, more social media ad campaigns, the newsletters there, the website. But you'll see that the top line here is this is designed for luxury agents and teams. So the premium package really has a luxury-based spin on it. So all of your social media marketing that we do, we're going to brand more luxury. Your website, we're going to brand more luxury. Your newsletter, basically everything is going to be luxury-based or team-based. If you have a team, and maybe luxury isn't quite what you're doing, but you have a team of 3 or 4 or however many, that this is also that level, because you need to make sure that the value is there for your whole team, which is why the team and global luxury level is the premium level. And again, all ad spend included. Lead opportunities can be reduced at your request. And then, of course, the commitment of a Zoom session each month. So these are the packages. What I wanted to talk about that we're going to add starting in January, we're adding 2 new features to it, not changing the pricing of anything here. One of probably the biggest request we've had for the longest time is Instagram. You want us posting to your Instagram accounts if you have one. And the only reason we haven't offered that is that it's because it was a logistical issue where the only way for us to log into your Instagram account was if we logged in from our phones, which just opens up a lot of issues there. So earlier this, I think it was either maybe late November, I think it was sometime in November or maybe late October, Instagram rolled out the ability for us to post from the desktop from your accounts. So now we are going to be adding to the social levels of Instagram posting. So again, 2 to 3 probably, we're figuring out how we're going to add the details specifically, but 2 to 3 posts to your Instagram account each month, or each week, sorry. And we are adding Testimonial Tree. So you've hopefully seen or heard about Testimonial Tree, this awesome testimonial-based program where it already is sending out requests to your clients for reviews. We're going to make sure that that's configured the way that you want it to be configured, and that you have a Testimonial Tree page on your website. So that's what when we have review and brand reputation management, we used to do some really cool stuff there. We're still going to continue that, but that's now also going to mean Testimonial Tree. And then, of course, the Instagram posting. So those are 2 new features that we're going to be adding and rolling out in 2022, which I know that our current clients are very excited about and will, of course, be reflected on these pages once those are rolled out. So before we move on, does anybody have any questions about the levels themselves, the offerings of Digital Accelerator? Okay, cool. I've learned to give longer pauses for questions, which is fun. One thing that I do want to say before we move on, and I guess we'll probably talk about this a bit, is that there is a little bit of room for changes here, right? Like I said, if you're sitting here and you're starting a month with your marketer and you say, hey, you know what? I don't really want leads this month. It's winter. I want to make sure I'm focusing on my sphere or my branding. I kind of want to hold back on lead gen this month and focus just on branding campaigns. That is absolutely totally fine. That's a great conversation to have. All aboard for that. At the same time, where there isn't really room for wiggle room within this program is when you start to want to add other things to it, right? Hey, I have these other social media platforms that I'm hoping you will post for, or hey, can you start doing ads on this business page as well, or stuff like that. That's where we have to stay within the parameters of this program, because again, this program is built with a purpose. This is not something we just threw together. This is built with business goals in mind. And the second we start to deviate from that, the second we're not able to deliver on what we promise. So, if you ever have questions or ideas for your marketer, please bring it to them. And as long as it falls within the parameters, we're going to be open to it. But if it starts to fall outside of the parameters of the program, that's where we start to go, hey, you know what? That's a great idea. It's not something that falls within DAP. But if that's something you want to pursue, as a designer, I can help design assets for that, or yada yada. So let's move on then. Let's talk about the keys to success. Like we said, what makes this program successful? Because we've been doing this really, like I said, for about a year now, and we've had some really amazing successes, and we've had some situations where we've realized, hey, you know what? Maybe this isn't a great fit, and it's decides it just doesn't work out that way. So I want to first focus on what Digital Accelerator is. And you can see from the program up there what it is, but you'll see that 50% of this is focused on brand reputation. How are you viewed by the consumer? Does the consumer trust you, trust your brand? Are they confident in doing business with you? This is where you work closely with the team, of course, to build those assets. Our team, your digital marketer and designer is here to build custom graphics, amazing, beautiful things for you. But at the same time, this is your business. It are your clients, it is you that they are marketing, and your interaction with them, or as we have here, your unique selling proposition, your voice is incredibly important to the success of this program. So it can't just be okay, I'm paying, my hands are completely off, I'm just sitting back here now. We're going to do all the hard work, but we need to have that rapport with you to know what it is your goals are and to know what it is that sets you apart. So 50% is focused on brand reputation, 40% focused on marketing, listings, sold, open houses, agent videos, etc. This is some of the content that you're responsible to deliver to your marketing specialist. So if you have a listing or a sold or an open house or anything that you want marketed, you got to let your marketer know. Hey, my property at 123 Main Street just went live today. Here's the link. Great. We're going to get an ad campaign out for that, or get a post out for it, depending on what you're asking for. So 50% brand reputation, 40% focused on marketing listings, and last but certainly not least, 10% focused on lead opportunities. Now we want that's this kind of equation here, this add up is pretty important. Lead opportunities are only 10% of the goal of this program. Brand reputation is huge for this. That is the main focus, is your reputation, your branding, and consistently getting that out there in your communities. But with the lead opportunities, when we're effective doing these things, marketing your brand, marketing your listings, this is what generates lead opportunities. Now, we want to be very clear here about what that means, right? Consumers that have expressed some type of interest in a home, selling a home, or learning more about what you and your brand have to offer. A lead is an unqualified consumer, which means you, as the agent, must be savvy in working these lead opportunities through the sales cycle to convert them to a prospect, which is, of course, then a potential consumer or customer that you can qualify and will then become a buyer or seller. So I love to share this stat from the National Association of Realtors, where any lead, and we're talking, of course, specifically internet leads here, but leads can take between 6 to 24 months to incubate before they are ready to buy or sell. Now, that's a pretty wide range. We have had people get leads in on a Thursday, and that weekend they were showing them properties. Or the next week, and it's not an exaggeration, the next week they had 2 listing agreements from one client. So the immediacy of these leads, it depends on the client, obviously, person to person. There is immediacy here. There is direct leads that come in and are ready to look at properties, or are ready to list within that week or two. There are some that take a few weeks or take a few months. It is very important that you know how to set them up on some sort of drip campaign, that you know how to work these leads, how to communicate with them, how to talk to them, so that you keep them in your pipeline and stuff like that. And so that is a really important part from your end of it. One question that just came in that's really a good one is, what has been the conversion rate from a lead to closed business? And it's a great question, Cindy, and unfortunately it's a really hard one to track because we don't always hear from the agents on the closed business. You know, this is something that we have been struggling with, not only within Digital Accelerator, but with other company initiatives, is that we don't know because agents don't always tell us, hey, this happened, we just got this. And, statistically online, generally what I've seen from other brokerages is that I believe anywhere between 4 to 6% of leads that you get in are ready to go right away. So that, ready to list or ready to buy right then. But that is within immediacy. Again, that's within like a month or so. So it's a great question, and I've got a lot of anecdotal stories of people getting listings and buyers out of this, but it's hard to know when oftentimes an agent will get the listing, get the lead, and go off and do the business and be super successful, but not report back and say, hey, that got me 3 buyers or that got me 3 sellers. So it's a great question, and if you end up entering the program, you can start tracking it for you, and we would love to be able to use that stat moving forward. So that's a steady mix of what we have there in terms of what the program is. And so the other part of it here is, are you ready for DAP? Are you ready for Digital Accelerator? And Tracy, if you want to jump in at any point during this part, please let me know. Because when you fill out this form, which we'll get to towards the end here, the first step is that Tracy has a call with you and discusses the program, goes through all these things again, make sure that you are, this will be a good fit for you and for your marketer. And Tracy is very good at being honest with you. We are not here just to get more and more people in this program. That is not our goal. Our goal is to help you if this is something that you that's something that you need and you want for your business. And we don't quite have this one directly here, but one of the points that we've had with people is they'll say, I'm looking at the program and I feel like I can do a lot of these things myself. That's great. Do that, do them yourself. That's absolutely fine. The question is, do you want to do them yourself? Do you have the time to do all of these things? And if the answer is no, then okay, maybe it's a good fit. But if the answer is yeah, then maybe it's not a good fit for you. Maybe you want to have a conversation with me or one of our marketers to talk about best practices and things that you want to do for your business, but you don't necessarily need this program. So going through some of these bullet points here, are you ready for Digital Accelerator? The first point here is that you've been in the business for at least a year and have listed and sold at least one property successfully. Now, this is very much a guideline. This is not a hard and fast rule, but the goal of this rule, the point of this rule, is that you need to know how to list properties and how to assist buyers. We've had people come in here into this program and have admitted down the road that they had never even had never even written a listing agreement before. And, we don't want to set you up for situations that you don't know how to handle. And with lead gen specifically, if you get clients out of this, we want to make sure that you know what you're doing as a small business. So someone, you kind of have to have your feet on the ground. You've been in the business for a little bit. This is not a brand new agent program. This is not, hey, I just joined, CB and I just started my real estate career. This is not really meant for that at all. This is meant for, I need help maintaining my business. Has at least one listing at all times, and then we'll talk about that in a second. They could be your listings or office listings. So we've been doing this long enough to see that when it comes to targeted ad campaigns, listings perform better across the board. Listings are the key to great lead gen. They are the key to getting traffic to web pages and stuff like that. So access to listings, especially when it comes to the lead gen aspect, are incredibly important. Like it says here, they don't need to be your listings. If there's a listing in your office, you can ask permission from that agent. Hey, JD, do you mind if I share your listing on social media and market it a bit? Most of the time, I'd say 80 to 90% of the time, that agent says, yeah, please do, because, hey, you're marketing their listing for them. It's a win-win. When there are times, especially in the Midwest, as we're going into winter, there are going to be times where that's a bit of a different situation. We, of course, have other ad campaigns. Not everything we do is listing-based, but having access to those listings is one of the most powerful things that we've seen looking back at our ad campaigns and the successes we've had. This is a big one. Has the financial ability to commit to up to at least 6 months. So this is not a is that Trace? Want to make sure. So this is not I can join for a month or two, try it out, and then go, oh, okay, I don't really like this. I want to leave. Marketing is a very consistent effort. It is not just a digital marketing thing. It is an any marketing thing. Print marketing, television, radio, billboards, anything. You can't just try something once and then say it does or does not work. So if you do one postcard and you get no, value from it, you get no listings from it, you cannot just go and say, okay, postcards don't work now. Or I did a video for one of my listings and I didn't get the results I wanted, so video doesn't work. That's not how marketing works. It is a consistent effort. You need to stay top of mind with people. You need to be in front of them consistently. And so that's why we ask for this 6-month commitment, is because with Google Ads specifically, it takes a few weeks for them to get off the ground and for the AI to learn what's going on. But the consistent marketing is one of the huge values of this program. There is always some sort of ad campaign being run on Google, on Facebook, on Instagram. And that is something that I know is very difficult for agents to maintain, is consistent marketing. So we need you to commit to those 6 months so that we can give you the full value of this program. Starting and stopping is not effective. Is proficient in the tools that help you farm leads. So basically, again, even though we are going to be running your ads, we're going to be running your, the leads that we generate will go directly into your Moxie Engage profile. You still need to know where those leads are in Moxie Engage, how to reach out to them in Moxie Engage, because as the marketers, it's our responsibility to market you, the brand, the properties, to generate those leads. It is your responsibility as the agent to work those leads, to reach out to them, to maintain that sphere. So knowing some of those tools, of course, knowing your MLS, those are important for you to be able to do in terms of proficiency. This next point is probably the most important piece of this puzzle. Will collaborate and effectively communicate with your digital marketing specialists and engage them to create, engage them to create content specific to you, including your unique selling proposition. The most important part here is this first part. Will collaborate and effectively communicate. Over the course of the past year, where we have seen the most issues or conflict within the program is a lack of communication. So I had one client, and obviously I'm not going to give any details here, but we had one client who started the program, And the first couple weeks went well. They they had their first onboarding call with their digital marketer, Dapper. By the way, we call ourselves Dappers, if I ever use that term, because we have to have cool names, Dappers. They had a great call with their Dapper. They were emailing, and then the Dapper started sending them proofs of things. Hey, do you like this? Is this an okay ad campaign? And didn't respond. And this is 4 weeks into the program. So the Dapper was, of course, calling, emailing, trying, because we do a very good job of trying to be, trying to get in touch. It's not just we do one email and go, well, they didn't respond, it's over. But for 2 weeks, heard nothing. And then this client reached out to me and said, hey, I don't think this program is for me. It's not what I thought it was. And I pushed it and I said, okay, tell me about it. What did you think? How so? And they said, well, I just don't feel like I know my marketer very well. And I was able to say, you've been in the program for 6 weeks and you have not communicated to them for the past 2. Like, for 1/3 of the entire time you've been in this, there's been radio silence. So how is it supposed to be successful if you're not communicating? And that's a two-way street. We need to communicate with you, and it's something we discuss in our team meetings every week. But communicating from your end, if we send you proofs, if we have calls, you're having those meetings once a month. If you ghost us or don't show up, or at least say beforehand, hey, I can't make it, can we push this? It's so important that you communicate with your marketing specialist, because otherwise things start to snowball, things start to get lost from someone's end, and it becomes very messy. So communication, clear and effective collaboration and communication, truly is the key to success within Digital Accelerator. Jim asked, does Zap play into this? And to be honest, Jim, not really. Hopefully you guys have heard that, the brand is phasing out Zap. It's something that we've been hearing for a while, something that's actually finally happening over the next year or so. And because it's a corporate tool that we don't have too much say over, too much, as Schmitz, we can't do much with it. We focus a lot on Moxie and the full Moxie suite there. And then of course, other programs to generate leads. So truly, Zap doesn't play too much of a role into this. If it's something that you wanted to incorporate, hey, I want to use my Zap listings versus my Moxie listings, that's a conversation to be had with your marketer. It's something that we can work out, but we don't tend to bring things to Zap at this point, nor in the future. And then, of course, the last point here, and no, I don't want Zap. Cool, Jen, then we're all on the same page here. So last couple points, again, be able to effectively nurture and develop the leads that come in. And then being able to work the sales cycle from lead to prospect to client. We had one client that was doing one reach out to a lead. And I don't remember if it was an email or text or what it was. They're doing one reach out, and then if they didn't get any response, they were actually deleting that lead from their CRM, from their database, and removing them completely, which is really not a best practice, because I have seen it with agents before where they said, I've had this agent this client on a drip campaign for 6 months, and 6 months later they reach out and say, hey, this is my spam email, can you change this to my real email, because my wife and I are actually kind of looking at selling now, or we're looking at buying now. So even if you don't get a response right away, that does not mean they are a dead lead. That is where drip campaigns, newsletters, what have you, reaching out to those people is incredibly important. So one thing before I open up to questions and go into the testimonials here, I want to make clear that this effective communication and collaboration, like I was saying, that's also from our end as the digital marketing team. It is our job to hold ourselves accountable to you. So, when we talk about these things that we do, the lead gens and the things that we're working on, we are holding ourselves accountable to meet those goals every month. And we are not just doing these things and saying, trust us, we're doing it. We're communicating, hey, your Google ad is running, or hey, this is what my next ad campaign is going to look like. Do you have any questions or edits? And one thing I want to showcase here as well is that we also, each month when you have this meeting with your marketer, we have reports that we send you just as an overview of what's been going on for the past month. So we'll send you a couple examples of the ads that we've run for you, and we'll give you the results down here. So again, this is a plus program where it's how many leads is it? 30 leads guaranteed per month. This one had 118 leads generated through your ads. 927 buyers. We send this to you so that we can show you, hey, this is what we're doing. Or let me show you another one real quick just to have it up. We like to show you, again, this is what we've done. These are the results from what we've done for your listings. We are not just saying, trust us, we did it, don't ask any questions. We're going to show you what we did. Wow, JD. What we have done and the ads that we ran, and give this to you for accountability. And if something comes up, hey, I need to push my call, I have to push it to tomorrow or later today, we're still going to send you that PDF no matter what. But it is still very, very important that this recurring meeting once a month takes place. So do you guys have any questions on this part, the ideal candidacy, what the program is? Any questions there? Tracy, do you have anything that you want to add while we're on this point?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us in today for Digital Accelerator Program. Great job, JD. Both JD and I and our digital marketing specialists are really passionate about this program. They're always trying to one-up themselves on their ad performances, really add more value to the program. Right away, when Testimonial Tree was introduced as a new value technology offering, right away they're getting it put into DAP and saying, hey, we can do that for our customers too. So this is a program we're really proud of, but I'll reiterate what JD said. This program really isn't for everybody. And one of the reasons why I do that onboarding call with you is because I'm going to walk you through step by step what is needed from you in order to make this program successful for you. And it's important to remember what JD said earlier. This is your business. You are the licensed real estate professional. This is your entrepreneurial business under our Coldwell Banker brand. Digital marketing specialists are not licensed real estate professionals. You are. They are marketers. So your voice, your unique selling proposition, your messaging, your focus, buyers, sellers, that constant and continuous collaboration and communication is so critical to how your program performs. You are the licensed real estate professional. I cannot say that enough. Constant interaction, email, phone interaction, letting them know when you have new listings. Maybe you're doing an open house. Maybe you want to do a virtual open house. Something sold of yours. You have to really communicate everything to them that's happening in your business. You have to really view them as an extension of your team, because that's really what they are. You have hired them to be your digital marketing specialist and graphic designer, because they are both. You can use them for Digital Accelerator Program. They're designing all of your content. They're tying in your unique selling proposition, your messaging. But maybe you also have an open house flyer or brochure, or maybe you're doing a direct mail campaign. Whatever it may be, you can use them for that too. That's separate of Digital Accelerator Program. But remember, this person is getting to know your business. They're getting to know your voice. They're getting to know what you like in your designs and what you don't like in your designs. So now this person really is part of your team. And it's also part of your competitive edge when you go on a listing appointment. You can now say that you have a digital marketing specialist and graphic designer on your team to market their property to the most affluent, largest amount of buyers possible, right? That's a competitive edge to other realtors that you're competing against on a listing appointment. So communication, collaboration, the commitment to marketing. I see agents want to stop marketing. They're like, oh, the snow is flying in Michigan and it's cold and nobody's looking at real estate. That may be the case, but they are looking online. They are always looking online. And marketing is something, when you're in a sales career, that you should never stop doing. It takes people like 17 times. JD, what was that success story that we had in Digital Accelerator Program where someone said, I kept seeing all of your ads. Remember? I kept seeing all of your ads and all of your ads constantly.
Yeah,
for a second.
Yeah, it was just a story of an agent who was they were walking back to their car from lunch downtown, and this was in Michigan, and a client pulled over and said, "Hey, I keep seeing your ads on Facebook. Could you have a card? Because my wife and I have been thinking of selling." And the guy, like Tracy just said, the key there for me was that I keep seeing. It wasn't, "Hey, I saw your ad once." It was, "I keep seeing your ads online." And that's what made them recognize this agent while driving past him downtown, which is powerful.
Yeah. So marketing is constant, right? You never stop marketing, never stop marketing yourself. You know, when JD reviewed the program, 50% of this program is all about you. You, your image, your brand reputation, you as a professional with integrity in the business. It's about you and the power of Coldwell Banker. It's about why. It's your unique selling proposition. That's something you have to be putting out in front of buyer and seller prospects all the time. Why should they choose you, right? Are you active in real estate? Are you committed to real estate? Do you work part-time in real estate, full-time in real estate, right? So it's important to constantly be marketing all the time. 40% of the program is around listings, solds, open houses. People love market analysis. They love to know what's going on in the market. Is it still a seller's market? Why is the seller's market different now than it was in 2020 and early 2021? They want to look to you to get education from in the real estate industry. And then 10% of that program is generating leads because we're effective in the above two categories. So marketing is something we should never stop. I also saw agents stop marketing when the market was in a frenzy. And it was just crazy, right? Things were selling so fast, tons of buyers. Well, they stopped marketing. And now we're getting the phone calls of, I've got nothing. I've got nothing in the pipeline. I've got no listings. I've got a few buyers, but nothing to sell. And they stopped. They stopped when they should have kept going. Mm-hmm. So the commitment to marketing, and we believe Digital Accelerator Program is really at an affordable price point compared to print marketing, where you can be consistent and it can be budgeted, where you don't get a surprise where now it's this much money. No, find a budget that's friendly for you. And I always talk about budget with agents because we talk a lot about their marketing plans, their business goals. We talk a lot about budgets. You have to go with a budget that is comfortable to you each and every month so that you can stick with it and be consistent. When agents tell me they want to do one postcard campaign or they're marketing just this one listing, I tell them, I say, please stop. Because if it's not something you're going to do each and every month and be consistent, ongoing, and I would argue every week, which is what we do in digital marketing, everything is focused every week, then you probably should save your money and not do it, because people do need to constantly see you in order to be memorable. They just do. And so you leveraging your dollar budget to get the biggest impact and return on your investment is what this program is about. It's affordable, it's approachable, it allows your 1000% involvement because this is your business and you own it, but now you have someone that's doing it for you. Again, your voice has to come through, but they're going to do it for you. Okay. So other than that, I would say, hey, if you're interested, JD's going to go over the form about how you can submit to get some more information. When you submit through the form, you're going to get a phone call from me, and you and I are going to start deep diving and brainstorming and talking more about the program and determining if it's a good fit for you or not. Okay. So you're always going to do that first phone call with me. I just want to be really sure that you understand what the program's about, what your commitment is, and how the program really works. It'll give you an opportunity as well to deep dive into the program and a lot of those questions that you have. So please look for that. It looks like we have a couple of questions. Yeah. Where would ads be focused? Oh yeah, so definitely. I mean, JD, you may want to talk. Yeah. Actually, I'll let you talk about that. Does marketing specialists work nights and weekends? I will tell you sort of, because you know what? They can schedule all of the posts and the ads to go out any time of the day, night, weekends. That's no problem whatsoever. But you're only going to reach them on the phone or email Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5. But they can schedule any advertising, anything to be going out any day of the week or time of the day or evening that you would like it to happen. Okay. But JD, why don't you cover the other one about how
Yeah.
these campaigns are really, really targeted
Yeah.
in other
And I'm
markets?
going to go up to Rich's before that too. He says, "Are any of these programs effective for commercial listings or customers?" So
Oh,
it's a
can I
great.
talk about
Go ahead.
that? Can I talk about that? So commercial, you guys, we are so excited about a commercial digital accelerator program, but we're certainly not there yet. In fact, uh, Todd Veza, our president of commercial real estate and property management, along with our new team member, Lindsay Bach, who's dedicated to commercial, and our team in the marketing group just talked about this morning, that we are developing a brainstorming session for Q1 2022, where we will deep dive into a program that is specific to commercial real estate to be able to offer that to our commercial brokers across the company in 2022. And we would hope that we will execute either the end of Q1 or the beginning of Q2. We already have this program down, but we want to make certain from a commercial standpoint that it's got an impact on value and an impact on ROI, and that it really fits the commercial broker. So stay tuned. That's an awesome question. We're hearing that more and more and more. It's our big idea for 2022 in the commercial sector, and we're super excited about it. So stay tuned for that. Okay. All right, JD, go ahead.
So Cheryl's question: where would the ads be focused? Would love to have some of my Florida listings marketed in snowy Michigan. That the ads can be focused wherever you want them to be focused. So it depends. When it comes to listings, I think that's one of those things that that makes a lot of sense to focus on snowbirds or out of state and stuff. When it comes to marketing your business, your brand and stuff, that's where we really try to keep those relatively local, because those are the people who are going to be reaching out to you. Those are the people who are going to see you and get to know you. So the easy answer is they're targeted where you want them to be targeted. We have places that we like to focus on your communities, but if you say, "Hey, I want this targeted," we just had one of Haley's clients yesterday said, "I want this is a luxury listing. I want it to be targeted here and here and here, not just in this area." And so she said, "Awesome, great." So we target those somewhere else. So really, Cheryl, it's up to you. Another one that just came in, how many agents does each marketing specialist work with? Will my marketing specialist be local to my area? So we've got a system in place where we're always managing how many people each person worked with. The number does not matter because it's about the quality of service. Will they be local to the area? Probably not, no, because we haven't seen that needed to be a requirement at all. You are, like we said, you are the agent, you are the small business, and when it comes to the knowledge about your local real estate market, that's where you come in and provide that information, provide those stats, those market stats, and we then take that and make them look beautiful and run campaigns based on it. So you are the local market expert. We are your marketer to help assist run those campaigns and advertise all of the above.
Yep. And I'll add to that a little bit more. We go through, after I've had a conversation with you and you and I agree together that it's a good fit for you, JD and I have an offline conversation and we talk about my onboarding call with you. And I talk about what you're interested in, we talk a little bit about personality, we talk about where you're based. And then JD and I select a digital marketer that we fit would be best paired with you based on your personality, based on where you're focused, based on what you're trying to accomplish. So there is a lot of thought that goes into assigning a digital marketing specialist to an agent. And we take great care in that as well. Okay. So you have one point of contact. So the next question from Jeff is all the creative content done by the same marketer? Absolutely. You only work with one digital marketer. We have 4 exceptional marketers on the team, but once you are assigned to one, that is your digital marketer. You always work directly with them. And the reason for that is that we really believe there's some real special things that happen when you and the digital marketer continue to get to know each other. and great things come from that. So we don't want you to have to start over and have a different conversation with somebody else. So your digital marketer is always your digital marketer at all times.
Keep the questions coming, guys, if you have them. I want to go through, like I said, just want to share some testimonials and some of the cool stuff that our team has made within the program. And I don't want to go too long over. I know we're already at 10:58, which is the time just flies. So let me find this testimonial slide here. So yeah, so there's obviously a lot here, but I love sharing some of these stats, some of these stories. Some things as simple as I've definitely noticed a difference in the number of leads and people looking at my stuff. This was the second one here was the very first ad that our marketer ran for this client. We have gotten about 35 leads just from this ad alone. I think that's more than we received over the past year. I have a couple specific, there's one here specific to Brittany, and I have another one to share that's fresh. This was one that the agent sent to their regional director. This was not prompted. This was not sent to me or Tracy or to Brittany. This was sent outside of us, that was shared with us. I just wanted to drop you a note to let you know how happy I am with Brittany. She understands what I want and is getting my message out to the world. Such a great program. I am glad I stuck with the marketing program. Also, I love, oh my God, you made it so easy. Where have you been all my life? We had one agent get 2 listings from one of the leads, like I said earlier. We had one agent, this is one of my favorites, is that one agent on the plus level received a lead from his newsletter. A client of his loved the newsletter so much that he forwarded it to a friend who called the agent and said, hey, my buddy forwarded me your newsletter and I'd love to have a conversation. And the newsletters are not meant to be lead generating. Those are sphere of influence products that are meant to keep you top of mind with your sphere. And it did such a good job of doing that it got this agent another lead. And then, of course, the other thing that I wanted to add was Tracy and some of the team had been in the Virgin Islands this past week, and Brittany has a client there in the Virgin Islands who was just raving about Brittany and said stuff. I think, Tracy, you were saying things like, my business would not be where it is if it wasn't for her, or something like that. Brittany was just doing a fantastic job. I remember she pulled Ken Schmidt aside, this agent did, to tell Ken how great of a job Brittany was doing. And then
he felt that it was something that really helped him grow his business, was helping him really put his brand out there. He attested his success in his real estate business because of Brittany and all the marketing that she's doing for him. So I thought that was pretty cool. Anna Tomaski had a jump, JD, but will you send her the deck or however you want to do it?
I already got it. Yep.
Another great question came up too. Who's responsible for coming up with content for the DAP newsletter? The realtor or the dapper? I'm going to say it's a collaboration. Remember what we talked about earlier. It's all about communicating and collaborating with each other. You guys work as a team. So you can brainstorm together and discuss what that content is. JD, you probably have some more to add on that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's the most honest answer. I think a lot of times what happens with the team is that they will ask you, hey, do you have anything that you want featured in your newsletter? And if you don't have anything specific, then they're going to go ahead and make it based off of what they think is going to be best. And then when they send you a draft of that, if you say, hey, I love that, great, or hey, there's this event coming up, or I've got this, a new listing, or I want to talk about this, they can swap that out. So we're never going to be sitting there going, well, you've got to give us stuff for your newsletter or else we're not going to make it. We've got ideas. We're going to make you a beautiful newsletter. But if you have specific things that you want featured, you just got to let them know and they will add that to your newsletter. So again, I'm just putting on some of the screen some of the fun stuff that the team's been doing, from websites to graphics to everything in between.
And what also is fun about this content, you guys, you see how it's all uniquely different. Everything the Dappers do for you is specific to you. A lot of third parties you'll see, and we've all seen it on digital marketing, where it's like, oh, I've seen this ad with like 3 other people. It's the exact same ad. Well, that's not what we do. We take great pride in listening to our agents and creating campaigns that are custom and specific to them. You're not going to see a digital marketer run an ad for you and then run the same ad for another agent. They're just not going to do that. That content is created to what you like, how you like your designs to look, how your voice sounds. Everything is super custom. And again, I'm going to say that's a differentiator for us in the digital marketing business, because a lot of these third-party companies are just running the same ads for all of the people because they're not really getting in deep and getting to know what is it that they like and don't like, right? Back to the don't like and do like, one of the things that the digital marketing specialists really appreciate is your feedback. When they are creating something for you, maybe they're having a hard time pulling information from you, and they're like really wanting to just put something out there in front of you because they're not hearing from you on maybe what you like or don't like. When you get that and they put it in front of you, this is where you guys really start to grow as a collaborative team. This is when you can say, oh my gosh, I love it. Or you can say, I like it, but I'd kind of like to see this over here, and maybe this color changes to this, and I don't like this font so much, so can we choose a different font? Like, that's not a bad thing, you guys. Being transparent and offering positive criticism is so welcomed by this digital group because they want to do it exactly the way you like it every time. And your feedback allows them to learn what you like and you don't like. Sometimes agents are like, I don't like it. And that's it. And they're like, I don't like it, but give me something. Like, your transparent feedback really is welcomed, and it allows them to design it exactly the way you want and continue to design for you the way you want moving forward. So feedback is super, super critical because we really want to be exceptional for each and every one of you, okay?
Yeah, there's been so many times where Tracy or I get a call and say, "Hey, my Dapper, made this ad and I didn't really like it," and we'll say, "Well, could you communicate that?" "Well, no, I didn't tell them that yet." I said, "Well, that's the first step because they're going to change it and they're going to make it the way you want it to look." So again, that goes back to that communication. So just to wrap things up here real quick, guys, if you want to join DAP, if you want to learn more about it or have that conversation with Tracy, when you go to the Digital Accelerator page on Schmidt Resources, when you keep scrolling, and we put this form at the bottom so you can't say you didn't see the packages, you didn't see the info. When you scroll down, there's a form right here where you can fill out name, email, phone, your region, what package you're interested in, any comments, and Tracy's going to reach out to you to have that conversation. All you got to do is fill out this form. This form is not you signing up. It is you wanting to learn more to have that conversation and then to kind of take those further steps.